In my youth, I did not think much about protecting the environment. I grew up in New York City and didn't think I had an impact on the natural world. I didn't realize that everything I did left a footprint on the environment around me. I did not understand the complexity of nature. I just thought that nature could take care of itself. In the late 1980s, there were a number of newspaper articles about the use of the pesticide Alar on apples. These articles stated that Alar could cause cancer and that children were most susceptible because of their size and because their diets were comprised of many apple products. I was worried about my children's health, and I began to research more articles about pesticides on fruits and vegetables. I also began to take some college courses to learn more about protecting the environment. While in school, I met some amazing people like Dr. James Utter. He had such a passion for the environment. He taught introductory environmental science, which was laden with volumes of information. Each and every topic he discussed with us was filled with his personal experience and his personal concern about man's effect on our planet. I lingered on his every word in every class. He inspired me to become actively involved in environmental protection. At about the same time, I joined an environmental organization in my town, the Environmental Advisory Committee of Harrison. I met people like Dorothy, Tom, and Chris, who had been working on environmental issues for years. Dorothy even had newspaper clippings from the 1970s when she first began working on environmental preservation. I worked on committee fundraisers, organized and participated in local cleanups of environmentally degraded areas. I fought against habitat destruction at a large development in my town. I worked to ensure that developers use best practices in their projects to protect water quality both in our town and downstream. I worked to ensure that developers planted trees when construction was completed to replace some animal habitat, to improve our air quality, and to add character to some very stark-looking streets. I worked to ensure that local ponds were protected. I tried to ensure that pollutants that could have been generated in the town of Harrison were not transported through the Mamaroneck River to Long Island Sound and specifically to Mamaroneck Harbor. I also worked to prevent the expansion of Westchester County Airport, and I participated in a number of rallies to protest violations of the voluntary curfew that still exists at the airport today. Another issue I worked on was the phasing out of the Indian Point nuclear power plant. Indian Point represented, and still represents, a small but devastating risk to millions of people in the New York metropolitan area. In 2002, I started teaching. A very noble career, but certainly a demanding one. Teaching is never boring. Your days are filled with exciting and fun activities, as well as a number of challenging ones. Your evenings are also filled with grading papers and hunting for more engaging and interesting projects for your students. Once I started to teach, I was not able to work as diligently on environmental issues, but they are still close to my heart. I still support a number of environmental organizations, but I do not attend meetings and write comments like I did in the past. I still think that protecting the environment is important, but I am not just concerned about the welfare of my children anymore. They are quite grown up. However, I have a new person for whom I want to make sure that the birds still sing, the squirrels frolic, and the rabbits hop playfully in the yard. It's time to work toward a happy and healthy environment and a wonderful future for my granddaughter.